Hello Internet, welcome to this segment of The Nerd Abroad. This week I am in Paris, France, and I've come out to the Art Ludique Le Musée for a DC art exhibit displaying the works and art of DC Comics. They have a number of prop pieces from their films as well. So as you can see behind me, we have a bunch of different Superman costumes that they use in the actual filming. It's very cool. It takes you through the entire history of DC Comics and why they created the characters they did, and it's got a bunch of the art kind of before it went to print, as well as monumental pages and panels as well. Behind me you can see some of the concept art leading into Man of Steel. I have a handful of different photos, I guess artist depictions of what those scenes were meant to look like, kind of like storyboards for shots, to see how detailed they are before they were even filmed and put into the movie. This is the piece of kryptonite that they used in filming Batman v Superman. I think it's the actual prop that they used. That's what the sign says, partially in French, mostly in English. But that's very cool to have. It's huge, very green, and you can tell they add some effects in post, but still a very cool thing to be in such close proximity to. They have a few small-scale models of sets that they've used for the films. So you have the Daily Planet here and the home farm on this side as well. Very cool to see the pre-production stages of filming. It's something that I grew up learning in high school in a drama program, all the steps and stages. And now it's cool to see how they're universal, and they use them in big budget films as well as small independent films too. We moved our way through the Superman exhibit, which is very cool, and now we've stepped into the Batman exhibit. I always like Batman a little bit better than Superman because he's a little bit more dark, and that's just my style of film and comics and all of that stuff. The more serious, darker tones of Batman is what makes it a better character, in my opinion, more fleshed out. I like it, hard to relate to an alien. They start off this leg of the exhibit by showing you all of the costumes and prop pieces from the old Batman movies. I'm a little too young for those who have been part of my childhood. I didn't really start liking comics to my 20s anyways. They all kind of seem a little bit too funny to have been real characters. I much prefer the turn that they've taken to making them more serious, more straight up terrifying, and very villainous as opposed to comedic and quirky in the older movies. In my opinion, the villains from Batman are also something that sets it aside in terms of the Batman versus Superman comparison. Villains are a lot more relatable and also a lot more entertaining to watch. So from the older films, we have Two-Face Riddler. It's also interesting to see that Two-Face kind of resembles Trump, especially with the haircut. Obviously they have an area dedicated to the Dark Knight trilogy, and it's something that was so monumental for Batman. They have concept art, they have prop pieces, these are the masks that the Joker's gang wear. They even have Heath Ledger's costume that he wore. Now, his dedication to that role is incredible. He threw himself into it, and it is one of the most incredible villainous portrayals in any film that I've seen. I love it. They have a few pretty monumental pieces of set design pre-production, including the underground prison, the bridge scene, and the Batcave, which is all so cool to see. Just a creative process ahead of the final product. Love it. They also have Bane's costume. I like Tom Hardy's portrayal of Bane. I didn't care for the voice that much, and I mostly just like that Tom Hardy managed to get completely jacked for the role. It's a little bit of a departure from the source material, considering that Bane's usually very drug involved, steroids and things like that, fictional drugs as well. But I enjoyed it, and that costume piece is right there in front of me. From the newest Batman adaptation, obviously Ben Affleck, they have this giant piece of costume. I have no idea how much it weighs, but I can't imagine that it's light. But it looks badass. We have the origins of the Suicide Squad now. Another decor change to bright, horrible colors. They have Harley Quinn's costume from the movie, so Margot Robbie in that, just beautiful. Now, Coral and I, for Halloween, dressed up as Joker and Harley in the Suicide Squad film. I think we did a pretty good job, but you guys be the judge and leave me a comment, let me know. The Suicide Squad section is very small, but it has what I think so far is the coolest prop, and it's these guns that they used in the film. See them up close and see the detailing, and not only that, but the wear and tear from, I'm sure, the recording process makes that look so cool. Of course, there's our Wonder Woman section. It's something, for being honest, that I'm not very familiar with. The character of Wonder Woman, the old films, the old TV shows, I never really paid attention to. It was always strange to me that she seemed so American, but she was from a different area altogether. Anyhow, the new adaptation is very cool. I like the more modern costumes and the actress who portrays her. How do you argue with watching Miss Israel perform on screen? She does a really good job, not that she had many lines. I'm excited to see the Wonder Woman film and see what she's capable of for realsies. Made my way all the way through and back in this exhibit, and it's awesome. I spent over an hour and a half in here. It's a fairly small exhibit, just jam-packed with a ton of things. And I managed to walk away with this catalog of all of the art from inside. It's heavy as hell, so I'm gonna have to ship it home because of luggage restrictions, but it's awesome. So cool. I'm so glad I got to walk away with a part of that exhibit, even if it was very expensive. Thank you for checking out this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. If you subscribe, you can check out my regularly scheduled travel videos, or a handful of nerdy ones just like this. I'm trying to do a lot more nerdy things. It's my favorite thing to do, travel around the world and see different nerdy things. For an example of those videos, check here, and I'll see you guys next week.